The significance of this name to the entire porcelain painting circle and the development of neck spray can be said without exaggeration. Although Wooting is not the first person to apply magnetic painting. However, the Wooting 60HE released in 2013 successfully utilized the characteristics of adjustable magnetic painting. Launched RT Rapid Trigger, a cheating function that changes the gaming keyboard ecosystem. The RT function is really not surprising to today's players, but letting go 2 years ago was simply shocking. In addition to novel features, the trendy designs of sidewall decoration and contour keycaps are today 2 years later. Various magnetic axes are still competing to imitate. It can be said that the appearance of Wooting 60HE is really enough to load the actual test. Finally, the orthodox sequel 60HE VU is here. 2 years ago, 60HE was the proud king, and today, 2 years later, the magnetic axis keyboard has as many choices as the 721 refrigerator. Then the official website price of this one is $1,641. The Wooting 60HE VU costs $2,100 including tariffs and shipping back to China. Is it worth rushing? Compared with phone, VU has the same design language. Compact 60-meter configuration. Center the front part of the logo and the ribbon on the left. These are all classics among classics, except for the plastic casing. On the VU, you can also choose the original one-piece CNC support, worth 400 rice. The one I have is the founder's version of Duochuo. The weight of nearly 1 kilogram significantly increases the weight of VU. If you look closely, the number of anodized wood on the surface is not particularly high. Fine graininess can be seen, but it feels quite frivolous. And the dance is silvery this time. And the effect of highlight rendering is quite advanced. It feels very close to Mac. Full of fruit. The connecting pot surface at the bottom is made quite silky. No feeling of cutting hands at all. The strap holes are also newly designed. Became detachable. Fixed by locking screws inside the housing. And comes with metal filling parts. When cloth is being installed and bleached, can present a complete aluminum head shape. It won't stick out like a fixed type. VU also reserves holes on the right side. Not only can you move the drift belt from left to right, you can even form a double ponytail. Surprise motherfucker. The quality of the original aluminum shell is definitely not as good as that of phone. It has been modified. Wooting also left a very arrogant sentence in this VU aluminum case this time. Hey, will you replace me this time? Will it? There are also 4 yellow anti-slip rubber pads at the bottom. The style of the streamers is fixed with the color of the shell. The silver shell is white and yellow in color. The black shell is the classic black and yellow color scheme. The color of the ribbon cannot be chosen by yourself, but there are third-party upgrades. This is not a big deal. Of course, VU can also currently pay for the PCB plus 4 positioning version. This single liner set with pour-on sandwich noodles. The official website price is around $996. If you have a blind eye modification plan yourself, then you can go directly to this. Except aluminum shell. VU versus phone. An option to split 3 spaces is provided from the factory. You may see this setting in some niche treasure customizations. Wooting gives you the choice directly on VU. Will not be the godfather of trends. By default, the left and right keys are space keys. In the middle is the FM function key. At first I thought it would be very uncomfortable, but in practice, I barely feel it as a split space because my thumbs are usually placed on the blank spaces. A large area on the right is a waste. The 2 extra keys can be designed for voice. CS props. These skills of delta or tile. These are much easier to press than the commonly used 95. And you don't have to worry about missing spaces by mistake. Suddenly take off. Or even what DKS can you pass? Find CSS one-click jump, etc. And haven't I been playing Street Fighter recently? This 3-space split is really like the lower 3-button layout of Black Boss. You can 100% restore it in VR. The blue room on the left, the right one, and the Black Boss in the middle. I'm used to it. And Wooting is also a rare support. Gamepad mapped 10-week keyboard. VR may be the most suitable keyboard for playing Street Fighter right now. What other uses can you think of that attract you? Of course, if you are really not used to it. VR also has regular options for large spaces, but PCBs are different, and it will be difficult for you to change the split space into one big space later. Be sure to think carefully before placing an order. And the classic contour lines and optimum keycaps. It is also not equipped with split spaces. Here we also mark the length of 3 spaces. Conveniently replace third-party keycaps. In addition to this, the original cable of VR was replaced by TOOC with a port adapter. The color scheme has also changed to white and yellow following the shell. Accessories include a set of pixelated stickers. There is also a mysterious hook. Let's press the cloth chart first. This time the appearance design of Wooting 6071 VR. How many points can you get? 1 to 5 points. You can't be a good person. It seems to me that the aluminum particles split the spaces. It can only be said to be a small thing like the banking industry. And VR, a brand new inner structure. It's just to see if you are worse than you. Nothing like this champion. Exploded between VR inner tank and bottom case. No screws to fix it. When you take out this mysterious hook, insert the small hole under the right alt. You can lift the entire liner. VR has a silicone edge wrapped around the entire inner tank. The friction between silicone and the inner wall of the shell is used to achieve fix. There is a silicone ball at the bottom of the PCB to hold against the bottom of the case, and preset hole positions filled with silicone. This structure actually has a name called O-ring. No stranger to custom painting circles, but I only saw it for the first time in the magnetic periphery keyboard. Compared with gasket, it only relies on the edge fixation method. VR adds silicone balls to support the entire PCB. There is no obvious inner tank deformation like gasket. This can ensure the high progress and rigid requirements of the magnetic group while at the same time it can also give you a tough inner bladder feeling. It's a very thoughtful application. What are you worried about? I know normally you shake like this. Even if I throw it away like this, the liner will not fall off. This design also makes DIY easier, and when you take out the PCB, you will see a VR PCB introduction made by Wooting on 60HE. It feels like a game producer leaving Easter eggs for players. VR PCB still supports 60-hole position. You can change it, but there are no screw holes left in the shell. If you want to install Bone or other 760 PCPs, you need to customize a special silicone cover and bottom filling. The upper periphery of the sandwich filler is made of silicone, while the main area is still the familiar Porum cotton, while providing fixation with silicone. The common ship area can provide a cotton position that everyone is familiar with. To be honest, I could already predict this structure. There will be a large number of clones in 26 years, except for the liner. The Lucre axis has also been updated to Lucre Tycon. It is still the cross axis and the guiding king pillar has been added. The axis has also been changed to the structure of the back cover. The stability of the shaft is improved compared to Bone. Still not as good as some of the large dustproof walls that are popular nowadays. The sound of bottoming out is basically gone. The default pressure mark is 42 grams. Total formed form. Spring length comes to 22 mm. The first launch will receive an additional 4 special color-coded founder shafts with a large number of engravings. The biggest feature of Lucre axis is, I think it lies in the complete formation of that 4 mm. Compared to most 3.2, 3.4, 3.5 mm magnetic axis now, the 4 mm Lucre is actually closer to the construction habit of mechanical axis. In terms of sound and feel stability, I think it still can't be rolled by the high-end domestically produced magnetic shafts nowadays. It feels more like a restoration of an old gaming keyboard to me. Cherry red shaft OG flavor. The VR satellite axis has also been replaced by a PCB satellite axis, and the space size becomes smaller due to splitting. Air gun sound and stability have both improved qualitatively. Then let's listen to the sound of VR. Finally, we come to the most difficult part. Performance. VR Xiaomi Bone does not have any upgrade in RT performance. Minimum trigger can only be set to 0.1 mm. The trigger lift of RT is 0.15. The rate of return is updated to 80 for the same model of 8. Under our self-developed delayed thermal test 2.0, VR under 3 curves, fast, medium and slow. Press delay is 0.41.12.2 milliseconds. Lift delay is 1.52.63.8 ms. Currently there is no manual calibration on VR. We found that the trigger delay will be high in the first 3 to 5 times, and there will be a significant reduction in subsequent consecutive trigger delays. We speculate that the first few times are the process of automatic calibration and recognition, so we use the delay of continuous triggering as the criterion. The latency performance will indeed be greatly improved compared to Xbone. The performance is equivalent to the 8 It can be seen from the pressing delay under fast design. VU is the same as 80. The delay handling of the PCB itself is excellent, but due to conservative RT performance. As a result, the latency of Taiwanese companies in medium and slow speeds is not good enough. Correlation between RT and latency. We strongly recommend that you watch our special video in this issue. The current latency performance of VU is among the best in the entire world, in a lower middle position. Compared with the situation where 60 Bone and 80 work side by side, one has to do 3 things. The latency performance of 6div2 has been improved to some extent, and whether it's 80 or 60, when you turn on super light speed 8, a light image will be locked. Not only does it have reduced brightness, it also only has a static mode. Just at this point, domestic Roll Kings are still 2 supermodels. In terms of accuracy, the trigger is between 0.137, 0.147, 0.256, 0.295 from the processing table. The middle section and RT retrigger are at 0.113, 0.158. Overall, it is consistent with the settings of its 0.15. However, there is about 0.1 left when bottoming out, and the object does not have the option of dying. Compared with Bone in terms of accuracy, it can be said that it has not forgotten its original intention. And compared to Bone, the performance of VU really only improves in latency. But whether it is delay or accuracy, in the current very exaggerated holding market, it can be said that there is no advantage. Even the numerical difference is comparable to Dunk and Device. In fact, from the visual interval test to 2 decimal points, it can be seen that the object should have tried this lower accuracy. But in the end, I chose a conservative numerical setting. Maybe it's true that there isn't such a huge demand globally except for us, not only at the manufacturer level. As far as bloggers are concerned, the prefix test in our country is really exaggerated. Most of the content on YouTube is about an experience that is told to everyone. Domestic, I rely on 1He Zhangyi. Latency testing also shows its unique abilities. What do you think about this? slightly inferior compared to performance. Then Wooting, the web page driver utility, is really an absolute dynasty. The only driving experience currently available. Not only does the entire page look and feel extremely high-end, it's also extremely clear. Advanced software such as SOCT DKS is readily available. There are also visualizations built. The first and second level menus, including lighting shortcut keys, are really intuitive. And this is probably the best controller mode to use at the moment. Wooting 60-inch configuration without direction keys. Wooting also provides a variety of key combinations. I think the most convenient way is to add spaces in WASD and splitting in VU. Extremely convenient. Except for one thing I really had to squirt. This translation of disabling full keys without charging is completely counterintuitive. You have to turn off this option to have no recharging with all keys. How is it? After watching this video, will you buy this Wooting 60 VU worth 2,000 yuan? My suggestion is that if you have V or 80 in your hand, there is really no need to upgrade at all. The only part that is truly zone-like is the structure of the inner tank. To be honest, you can change the rest a little bit. Maybe you can get twice the effect at half the price. And if you are looking for performance upgrades, will anyone really look at Wooting if they don't focus on performance? As far as Wooting is concerned, I think in the domestic market, it's really a very awkward situation. Including my opinion on it is actually the same. On the one hand, Wooting's appearance, performance parameters, feel, and sound. These cannot support its extremely high starting price and the difficulty of getting started and after-sale service. On the other hand, it has a very high historical status and global visibility and usage. Personally, I really appreciate their community-oriented nature. The distance between them and the players is very close. Like explaining a new function to everyone on the official account from time to time. Provide some modification solutions. Let's discuss the meaning of SOCT with everyone. The spaces including this split will also be put up for voting on the community, not to mention leaving messages on the product to talk to players. To use a word that is very popular nowadays, it is a feeling of being alive, including my previous interview in Taipei, when the roof team can feel them. In fact, he is a player, so they can set off trends. This is what I think too. This is the part that domestic manufacturers are currently missing. The feeling that domestic production gives me now. Just immerse yourself in doing your own thing. If the player likes it, then the bet is right. If you don't like it, you'll just give up. Keep working on something. Bet on whether players will like it next time. How do you say this? I think the roof is a success. Never rely on numerical values. Instead, I came up with the idea of using the surroundings that no one is optimistic about. I made this idea from AT. Okay, this video ends here. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, or like me, please feel free to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support the Der Spiegel and Dian Dian columns.